Hello everyone, we're back to do another VOD review. This is a VOD review of a Diamond 2 neeko support on EU Northeast, and I'm going to be VOD reviewing it. If you want a VOD review for yourself, you can check out my stream and get channel points. At 40k points, you can get a free VOD review like this one, or you can donate $20 and help support me and get a VOD review that way. I do VOD reviews for any role, any champ, really, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, this will be a Diamond 2 one, and it looks like the player won, so it might be a bit harder to get a good VOD review in here, but I'll try my best. So to start, you're playing neeko into a Draven Karma. This is already, I can tell you, a very hard lane. Karma is very hard for neeko. The reason is she has a lot of poke, and if you try to poke her, she has a shield, so you just don't win poke battles. If you try to win the all-in, you're versus a Draven, so it's hard to win the all-ins also, and even if it wasn't a Draven, I find if you miss your route when you go in against Karma, she just W's you and runs at you with E, and then you just die. So Karma's always a hard lane, but not unplayable. Her Q has a long cooldown pretty early. It's like, oh, Fog of War, can't see her. Her Q level 1 has a 9-second cooldown, so it's pretty long, honestly. It's pretty abusable, so you want to look for windows instead of that. For runes, running my standard rune page, which is fine. The only thing I would say is you don't really need stopwatch into this game for the free stopwatch. They don't have assassins. You're not going to be rushing Zhonya's first. Actually, weird is Hex Flash is actually okay into this when they have a mobile ADC, a mobile mid, so Hex Flash might get a lot of value here. Also, you could also go Biscuits this game and take Q level 1 into this lane, since it's hard for you to find the cheese level 2 all-in because you're not going to win an all-in level 2. So taking Q level 1 would have been fine here, since it's hard to auto-attack train these people, but I do understand that W is very good for avoiding Hecarim gank, and already your ADC is getting chunked. This is bad. Honestly, your ADC's own fault, because he was at level 1 AFK chilling this bush. If he's going to AFK chill in this bush, he should have put a ward in there, or he should have... It doesn't even make sense. Like, if he was in this bush the whole time, why did he even walk that way? I don't think he even helped do leash, right? So, like, I don't know. Interesting. But you got good auto-attack trades back. She has no W. Yep, abuse the trade. Good. Yeah, you just got to wait for the next wave to collapse here. So her Q is coming back up, right? Because it's 9-second cooldown, so you have to stay behind minions for that. You're staying too far back. Way too far back. I'm going to be very critical in this one, by the way, guys, because, again, that they won this game, and it's a Diamond 2 game, so we're looking more for small mistakes rather than big mistakes in this game, probably. But look at your ADC's HP, and look at this triangle being formed, right? Draven can push... Well, he doesn't have W, but Draven can basically just walk 1 second forward and auto, and Karma can just Q right here and slow. Like, Karma Q, she gets low, Draven walks forwards and hits. And what's your retaliation, right? What do you do when they do this, right? Well, you're going to have to pop your W and run all the way towards Draven, and you're just behind on the play. So I do think your ADC is a bit over-aggressive. I think your ADC should be positioned over here, but that's where you could be right now, right? What if you, instead of being positioned here, where you have no way to go in on Karma, no way to go on Draven, right? You have two places you could be going. You want to be pressuring either Draven or Karma. So you could go to this bush, right? Now, yes, that sucks because you would take a Karma Q to the face, but at this point, is it more like your ADC has no pots and you have 2 pots? You have to always... Your ADC's HP pool is your HP pool. If your ADC is low, you're low, right? So at this point, you have 2 pots and your ADC has none. Going into this bush would not be a bad idea because it would force Karma have to go back. And if Karma Qs you, you have pots to afford it, and it's better that it didn't go on your ADC, and you can auto-attract trade into her, right? She does 100 damage to you, and you do 66 damage plus your auto-attack base damage, right? Which is like 30, so you're going to be doing almost as much damage to her as she does to you there. She'll do a bit better, but again, it's better if she doesn't. So there's one play as you go into this bush. Again, sorry guys, I'm going to be very critical because it's a Diamond 2 game. So one play, you could go in the bush here is one option. The other option is you go here where I said the ADC should have gone. Realistically, the ADC should be... She's just greeting right now, to be honest. Like, if you look at the minions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is always going to be pushing towards you. She should not even move up, right? Because even if she positions here where she can't get by the Karma Q, she can still get auto-attacked by the Draven, so it's just not worth it. But either way, I think the best play for you, that is a play you could take. But I think the best play is you just walk over here, and then when Karma Qs your ADC, you just start pressuring their ADC, and if their ADC tries to walk up and hit the Kai'Sa, you'll get a lot more damage on him than he'd get on Kai'Sa. But, yeah, your positioning is just really bad here. So, anyways, let's keep going. So, luckily she missed. But you can see what I'm saying here. Like, look how Draven auto-attacked her, and see how he's chasing her down. If you were already auto-attacking Draven, he would have got that one auto-attack in. He would have traded about this much of his HP pool, and he would have ran away. now he's like not trading as much. The ignite was good. It's a bit of a waste, but I understand that you were scared he was going to try and run your ADC down. There's an equal chance that he just right there flashes in and kills your ADC, so igniting him just is a good deterrent. But luckily your jungler is coming down to help. Your ADC is trolling again. Unlucky. No reason for your ADC to walk in. That guy was cut off. Just chill. And it could have been a 1 for nothing. No way you probably get this kill, I wouldn't assume. So yeah. Good job, Rengar. And yeah, you just need to chill. There's not really a point of you going back. You won't have enough gold for anything yet. You could back for boots and a refillable thingy. But you always risk that Karma might shove it in while you're gone. But yeah, just chill here for a sec. Wait for ADC to come back. We'll fast forward a bit. Alright, so your ADC's here. Preferably, we want to keep this wave by the tower. Your ADC's going to have to thin it out a bit. Okay, so your positioning's a bit better right now. Oh, no, don't go back in for that last auto. Not worth it. Good root auto trade, and you should have just left right away. The extra auto is obviously not worth it. Good positioning here just because Karma... I don't know. Again, it's just hard because this is why Karma is such a hard matchup, right? If anything, that root auto you did was bad just because it put your... It was fine with the root auto, but as soon as you had to waste your W, it makes it really awkward, right? Like, if you hear root auto and just walked away, don't use your W, right? If you slide your W up here, you could pressure more, but you don't, and it's hard. So you want to try and make space for ADC here, but it's really hard because Karma's just like a really busted champ versus neeko. So you walk up, good, pressure. Always need to be behind minions versus Karma, right? So we'll watch, right? Your positioning, see where you're standing, right? And your root's never going to hit her either. You need to be standing like right there. And if Karma keeps walking down, you would then have to back up and go behind here. And if Karma goes this way, you go here, right? So if Karma's standing where Draven is, you're here. If Karma's there, you're here, right? Behind these melees. And if Draven tries to walk up and auto-attack you, that's when you root auto-attack Q him, right? So Draven can't pressure you because he fears getting comboed by you. But yeah, where you're standing is you're just in LOS of the Karma, and her range is always better than yours. You don't want to try and trade with Karma until this is on a 9-second cooldown. So you need to get her cooldown out and then trade. You're starting to get a little bit low. Okay, yeah. At this point, see what I'm saying? Where you, as soon as, whoopsies. As soon as you missed that root, you have to back up because Draven just runs you down, right? Like if you have your Q root up, that's why I'm saying you have to bait him to go in towards you when you still have your Q up. You should really not be throwing your root at all, to be honest. You should just be Q poking and keeping your root up at all times, honestly. But at this point, it's hard to see, but say if they were like a Blitzcrank Nautilus or something, maybe you'd have to be a bit scared, but it's a Karma and a Draven. There's no way they dive your ADC here. Your ADC is behind an EXP and you're up an EXP on them too, so it's not a bad, like if you recall here, it's not like you're falling behind. The wave is 100% pushing you 1, 2, 3, 4 minions to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minions. Right here, you just insta recall. If you don't insta recall, it just gets harder and harder. So you just stand here and just recall. This wave will push your ADC and just let it be, right? So good. Now go recall is correct. I'm not going to keep saying it, but yeah, this is a recall moment right now. It's something I'm trying to work on too, but finding good recall moments, right? Because it's just like, again, what do these guys do? Do they dive your ADC right now? Probably not. I mean, Hecarim could always show up and they could 3v2 dive your ADC, but actually Hecarim's dead. He was just top, so this is actually perfect time to recall. And you have a lot of gold too. You can get yourself here like a boots, a amp tome, and like a potion, right? So this is a good recall moment. See, the reason why now it's a bad time to recall is because the wave just hit tower. And when the wave hits tower, good lesson for anyone watching is when wave hits tower, it always pushes back the enemy. So see how these minions are kind of grouped up together? They're going to come in, and the enemy's minions are going to be coming in a straight line, and they're going to connect, and there's only going to be one minion. These are always going to push the enemy. If the enemy team is smart, Karma will move into this bush, zone the ADC, Draven will just last hit only, and it'll let it slow push to them, and your ADC is going to get denied CS and EXP, right? So that's why you can't recall here anymore. Well, Draven's dumb. He's auto-attacking the wave, so you could recall now, but only because he's dumb. See how the minions are killing that minion even though he killed a minion, see how it still killed it? And if he didn't kill that minion, they would have had an extra minion advantage. So that's dumb being dumb. They 100% here should have froze. Rough. Missing skill shots. We all do it, buddy. It's no big deal. And your ADC is also just not being very intelligent here. Taking free trades when they're shoving into him. There's no reason for him to be walking up and getting poked. Yeah, so you missed your back opportunity, and now it's just very hard to find one. But it's okay. I personally, the way I like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's not good, but instead of trying to throw roots at them like this, I like to wait till the wave connects to tower. Then usually they try to play really aggressive on you under tower. Draven's going to be trying to auto-attack your ADC under tower. And then what I like to do is I like to stealth and try to find an empowered root on him under the wave. Because then at that point, he can't trade back on you because he's under the tower. If he does, he takes tower hour, go and lose, and you can just both turn on him. But when you throw your root here, right, now when the wave hits tower, you have no root up, right? So when it hits tower, now you have no play to turn on them, and they can play super aggro on you under tower. Like I said, into this matchup, you really don't want to be throwing out your roots like you are right now. Like, you just want to be Q poking. And again, it's hard because Karma outranges your Q poke, and she can shield your Q poke, which is why I said this is a very bad matchup for neeko, right? Because you can't really win by poke. But throwing your root is just like you keep throwing your root, right? But your root does 96 damage, and your Q does 93 plus 45 on bounce. So, like, you're basically going to be doing the same damage with either or hitting. The only difference is if your Q's on cooldown, they can't harass you under tower, but if your E's on cooldown, they can, right? So, like, if we watch here, what's going to happen now, right? First of all, you're really far back. You should be standing here, right? I don't know why you're back there, but right here, see, like, say you were standing here, right? And Draven comes in aggressive. If he doesn't come in aggressive, your ADC gets the farm. If he does, you just stealth, root, and now all of a sudden you catch their ADC, right? But because you don't have root up, you have to be so scared. But again, you shouldn't be this far back either way. You should still be able to right here walk up and, like, punish him. You're too far away, especially with Karma's positioning. But the reason is because you don't have your root up and you're scared, right? So again, when the wave's about to be hitting tower, you really don't want to put your root on cooldown because you want to be able to position about right here. It feels weird because Karma can thing, but like if Karma walks in too close, you just stealth, you can root Q auto her, stealth root Q auto their ADC, and they're under tower and they can't harass you back, right? It forces them basically, if you have root up and you're standing here, it means they can't walk any farther than here, right? So they're stuck here. If they walk here, right, then you stealth root them and they're under tower and then they can't trade back. So something to keep in mind. Did I just miss something? Where did the Karma go? What? Okay, she went to the clean. I was like, what the heck? That was a fine route to go for. Unlucky you missed. Do you have any wards up? You haven't placed any, have you? Okay, you do not have any wards up. Your ADC has wards up, so you should just be pinging, like, assist me, and ping your ADC's wards, because I know we just cheated and saw Hecarim there, but either way. Yeah, this is a good recall. You guys should have started the recall a bit earlier, I guess. But because it's a cannon wave, it means you can get back and get to lane quicker. Nice. Queen reset and come straight to, you don't, okay, here. Where are you walking towards? Right? Okay, good. You started walking towards bot and then realized you went mid. So the only bad thing is you didn't just start walking towards mid right away, or else you'd be a tiny bit quicker towards this play. But there's no point going bot because you go bot and this wave, your ADC doesn't need you to help farm this wave. So you should always be moving towards mid pretty much. There's almost never a moment when you're recalling early in the game and you don't want to roam off the recall. Even watch pro play like LCS or LEC and you watch the supports on recall, they almost never go back to lane. They almost always just walk straight mid or straight top. So it's good that you're moving towards it now, though. It's just one of those habit things. Your habit is to walk bot, and you corrected it when you saw what to do, and it wouldn't have made a difference in this case, but it's always good. Yeah, here there's no point walking mid. I mean, the only reason I would say it's still important to be walking mid is because your mid's overextended, and we know Hecarim was just here. So I don't know why your mid lane's inting. You should be pinging her B. She has no mana, but maybe walking mid would be good just to counter gank Hecarim. Again, your ADC doesn't really need you here to farm under tower, but yeah, so here's the Hecarim. But honestly, that's not your fault. Your ADC is just being stupid. Your mid's being stupid. Oh, we missed that play. Oh no. Only thing I would say about this, I like the attempt of an E-Flash. The only thing I would say is your ADC wasn't really in position to follow up either, so. Ooh, I get it though. She had tower aggro. It was a good try. If you hit her, it would have killed her. It was a good try, I'll give you that. She had tower aggro. Nice try. I don't see a problem with trying at least. Yeah, try and help your ADC a bit better with CSing, but... Hey, kitty cat. Why are you pushing around my green screen? So, you don't have any wards up. Your ADC is just not warding, which is really unfortunate. This is a good recall by RCA. You should just recall too. There's nothing for you to do on the map. You don't really want to be walking blind through the jungle. You can go back and get a refillable and a control ward and walk straight mid. Walk top maybe even. Top looks like it could be abusable. Right, see again, look at your reaction, right? This is a really bad habit that you need to get out of. It was literally around the D2, D1 elo, which is exactly the elo you're in, where I started to break this habit. From D4, D3, I would always walk straight bot, and it was when I hit about D2, D1, I was getting stuck, was when I started watching replays, and I realized I need to break this habit of just insta-walking bot. Because look at the wave, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Draven's auto-attacking the wave. This is always pushing back to you, which means you don't have to be bot until the wave hits tower, right? And the waves, this wave here is probably going to connect over like here somewhere before it hits tower, which means you have 2 waves right now to move, right? So you can move potentially top, which is a bit riskier because you won't be bot when it hits tower. But because it's a Karma Draven, your ADC can safely farm VS this under tower. She might miss some CS and lose half her health, but if you get to play top, it's worth it. So there's that. Then there's also mid here, which is getting ganked, right? So instead of being here, you could be like here, right? And on your way mid, right? So. And even though your mid's dead, and there would be no point of going mid, you might say like, oh, there's no point going mid, my mid's dead. Still, this wave is not needed by you. Again, it'll collapse here and your AC can wait. Who's farming this mid wave, right? This is so much golden experience going to nobody. And TF might even take a play. If you show up here right now, TF leaves, doesn't get a plate, and you get all this gold and EXP, which for someone like neeko who wants to snowball games and get a lot of gold and you have a kill, this is a lot of gold to be losing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a cannon. This is like 50 CS right there, right? And this is like 50, 50. This is like 150. This is like almost a kill worth of CS right here, honestly. This is like literally almost a kill of CS that you just lost because you went straight bot instead of mid. So you should have gone mid, right? Mid, maybe even place a control. Because your mid laner doesn't have control of mid, you don't want to be putting your control ward in any of these bushes. You only want to put your control ward in these bushes if your mid is pushing to their tower and has control of lane because she can defend it. If your mid can't defend it, control ward here. The reason why control ward here is good too is because Hecarim can't get over this wall. VS junglers can get over this wall. This doesn't help you that much. But putting a control ward here for you isn't that useful. You would rather put a control ward here and a regular ward here, right? And then how does Hecarim gank you, right? He can't, he has to come, he comes right here, you see Hecarim, and he comes here, you see Hecarim. So there's no way for him to get behind you. So at the least, you want to go mid and just place a control ward right here versus Hecarim. All right, you farm that wave and you come straight back bot and see how your ADC won't need you. You BG chilling. You've just finished CSing this wave right now and you just start heading bot. And by the time this wave connects to tower, you're bot and you just got basically a free wave. Your ADC being stupid again, not your fault. You did a good trade. Your ADC just needed to not walk into Draven and that would have been a good trade for you. So unfortunate, not your fault on that one. I think that was a good trade personally. Again, what are you doing? You're throwing your root before it hits tower. Now, fortunately, they're going to ward, but what would happen if they came to pressure you under tower? You wouldn't have your root to go for a play on them under tower, right? As the wave's hitting tower, do not throw your root. Maybe look for a Q, right? You wanted to abuse the fact that her thing's down. That's fine. You could stealth towards her and look for a Q, or you could just keep it up, but you don't want to waste your root as it's hitting tower. This is a really hard lane, though, so you're not doing too bad. Like, I'm telling you, Karma Draven is like a nightmare lane, honestly. Especially with a low-range ADC, too, versus a Draven. Really good route. The only thing I have to say about that whole play is you did okay, I get the reaction of wanting to back up, but you just have to have better vision to understand that they went on your ADC. If they're ever on your ADC, you do not stop the pressure. You cannot stop pressure if they're on your ADC. So her Q's down. You need to abuse the trade window. Find it, right? Look. See how he's already auto-attacked your ADC once? I get that you're scared, but you just can't be. Right? Because right there, say she used her W on you and Draven started auto-attacking you, well, then your ADC would start attacking Draven and you're attacking Draven. If the Draven's first auto hit you, then yes, run away. But since his auto already hit her, right? That means that you should not be backing off, right? She should be backing off like she did, and then you pressure him off. And if he switches onto you, then she can just attack Draven, right? Like say Karma W'd meet you, then she would go onto Draven there, and she also has heal up too, right? So that'd be what the only mistake in there, I would say. Other than that, that was a really good trade. Again, I'm being nitpicky because this is a Diamond 2 game, and I see that you also were MVP of this game. You finished the game like 7-2 and 11, so it's gonna be. I was going into this game a bit nervous that I'd be able to help you a lot, and I'm glad that so far. We've been able to spot some mistakes. So you should be helping your ADC shove this wave. Your ADC, technically, since we didn't know if they were backing or not, your ADC should just froze. But rule of thumb is your ADC in the end of the day is going to control wave macro. As soon as you see your ADC Q the wave, you should have at least thrown your E against the casters if you're scared of killing with your Q and started auto-attacking the cannon. Help your ADC shove this. Right? You're not helping at all. Okay, maybe it was a good thing you didn't throw your E, but you should just be helping shove if she's doing that. Okay, really good. I think you win this. You're being way too scared. Way too scared, buddy. The longer you wait like that, the better it is for Draven. Okay, first of all, did you have a ward up? You did. So that was, you had 2 wards up. So that was the first misplay in here. Well, good play to go for, but you needed to ward this bush really early, right? So, nice. Right here, ward the bush right now. If you ward this bush, maybe your ADC doesn't even die to Draven right away. If she does, and then she helps you, and then Draven's really low, and then you feel more confident finishing it off, right? If you warded that to give her vision. But here, you're so scared, but like, you don't need to be. I really don't think you do, because you have your stealth up too. And you can like stealth one of his autos and stop him from hitting you. I don't know. I get being scared it's a Draven, but I don't know. I feel like you just win these. Like, you have to remember you have all those minions. Also, because you ended, see all these minions that were on him? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because you stealthed and he lost aggro, because they don't have vision of this bush, the minions left. But if you were auto-attacking him, these minions wouldn't have dropped aggro, and he would have been getting aggro by all 4 of these. Your Q right here would have done almost 200 damage, which is literally half his HP. I really think you just win this if you commit, but I understand being scared of a Draven. It's understandable. Very understandable. So you probably just pick up here like a ruby crystal and a amp tome. Probably a ruby crystal. Okay, you agreed for another amp. That's fine too. And again, don't want to just keep hounding you on it, but again, do not keep just walking bot. First of all, this is one thing I struggle with, figuring out when I should be roaming top or not. Again, it's not a bot lane that can easily dive your ADC, especially now that your ADC has level 6 and can get that shield and jump. It's very hard for these two to just straight up dive your top bot lane. Top lane is pretty overextended right now, right? There's always a chance that Karma could just straight from base. There's a high chance Karma backs and she's like, oh, I need to top my top lane. And she walks over and then they catch out your Gnar. So I definitely think this is one of the rare times where you'd want to be pathing towards right over here, right? So that you can path towards a mid gank maybe. I know your mid's back, but your mid's going to come back to lane. And it's going to be a fresh wave. Like, she's going to get to mid, and you're going to... So, I just think you should have pathed towards... There's really no point, right? Like, look at your coming bot, but what's the point? By the time you get here, you don't even get any of this EXP either, pretty much, right? Like, this was just a waste of time. Good stopwatch. A waste of a stopwatch, TBH. I understand it, but probably just a waste. Maybe you didn't need to walk towards top, but you definitely should have still just walked towards mid. Get vision down mid. Like, getting wards here helps so much versus Hecarim. So, this ward is really bad too. What does that ward do for you? Actually, nothing. Like, it gives you no vision of anything up here. I guess you're scared of the enemy sweeping it, but this ward's so bad. I'd way rather have a ward right here. Against a Hecarim too, like if you kill a Blast Cone here, unless Hecarim's literally going to flash or ulti this wall like a maniac, like this ward right here is just so much more valuable versus a Hecarim than that ward. Like, look at your mini map right now, right? You have no vision at any of this. You had 2 wards, right? A ward right here and a ward like right here on the corner here. I was watching Afro Moose stream. He actually likes to do a ward placement, so he goes a ward here, and a ward there, and it gives so much vision because this ward gives vision up to that plant line, right? So if they're, and then this ward gives vision up to here, so it's like if their jungler walks through any of that, you see it. If he comes down over here, you see it. But yeah, if you put a ward right there, it'd give you vision of all this. It'd give you vision up to here, and it would be so much better, right? A ward like over here too. Right, gives you vision of that. It gives you vision of all this. Gives you vision of all that. So yeah, small thing, but it's important. Don't necessarily had to use your W there. Kind of a waste. You had all 3, your whole teams here with you. If they were in that bush, there's no, like, you see Draven bot. You see mid there. Top's top, right? Like, at most, there would be Karma and Hecarim in there, and you have 3, so not really necessary to blow your W. That was a good play, though. Not bad. Looking for something. I respect it. You like to throw out your E way too much, I'm telling you. Use your Q more. Your E does 125 damage, your Q does 250. And your Q is easier to hit. See, you just hit your Q and you did damage. When your E is on cooldown, you are vulnerable to them going in. Anytime you throw your E and miss, you're at risk of Karma speed boosting. Like, what if Karma gives E to Draven, Draven pushes W, and he runs up and hits an E on you, right? And then you just die. Again, see, look what happens. You miss your W, and he's just running at you, right? Like, your E. Try, like, it's just a bad habit. There's really very low value in hitting your E unless you're actually planning to all in. And at this lane state, you're not planning to all in. You just want to chip them down. You're way more valuable to just throw Qs here. You've been doing it all lane too. You miss a lot of roots, but you want to know why? Because you're going for low % roots all the time when you should be just, like, throwing Qs. Like, there's nothing wrong with stealthing at the enemy and just throwing a Q auto. See, again, you throw your E, you could have thrown a Q. Your Q would have done more damage and it would have been easier to hit. You could have thrown a Q there. So you have no root up, so he's just running at you. The only reason he was running at you there was because you had no root up, right? Just try to get more used to, like, there's certain lanes you can and cannot be wasting E. You know, a Draven lane versus a Kai'Sa. I mean, your ADC is spam pinging you. Maybe you should not have focused her. She's right about that, but at the same time, we've watched this Kai'Sa play this lane very badly and very many points. People in elos like to just look at other teammates' mistakes and not their own, right? Well, we're looking at your mistakes right now. Don't worry. We'll figure out your mistakes. You should have gone Fiora, but unlike her, she's not going to learn from this game like you are, so...
Turret plating will soon fall.
Yeah, just try to only hit high % roots, not low % roots, on lanes that can turn on you. This is a lane that can turn on you, so you don't want to be throwing root too much. You're not going to go bot anymore, for sure now. Nice. That was a good route, not because you hit it, obviously, but because it's different, because it's not like you're in this lane here, right? Like, if you miss the route, it's not like a TF can, like, push a go button and just run at you, right? That's why I'm saying you have to know the lanes, if they have go buttons or not, right? Like, say it was, like, a Janna support here with Draven. I'd be a lot less critical of you throwing roots because Janna doesn't have a go button. You would still be getting zoned from the wave from, but you just have to remember every time you root, they're gonna be trying to abuse you, right? But like these two have a lot more abuse in the lane than say it was like a Janna who doesn't have a speed boost, right? Because of the fact that she can speed boost Draven and Draven has a self speed up and can hit you with an E, it's just very risky to be just wasting your things. But against like this freaking TF who doesn't have those kind of things, it's not too big of a deal. Couldn't even see Roman there. Good job. Let's rewatch that quickly. Because I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you just misplayed by not going on Draven. I don't think we have to highlight it too much, but, you know, it's good that you were pressuring Karma and forcing her backwards, but you're just throwing your stuff too early, right? Like, this guy is your, I guess you didn't realize that this guy's just going to flash him, but unlucky, I guess. But either way, you shouldn't be looking to ever go on Karma. Like, even if he didn't blow his flash to go on him, right? You either knew he had his jump up or you didn't, right? If you knew he had his jump up, then you know he's going to jump on Draven and CC him and you should be going for Draven. And if you don't know, if you think he doesn't have his jump up, then there's no way you can even follow up on the Karma, right? Say he didn't have his flash and hit the Draven, you would have lost this even harder than you did. So, I don't know. You just need to understand the kill target, and the kill target is Draven. Because 100% if you didn't blow your combo in the Karma, you don't die here. And then you guys get a free kill on Draven with no deaths, and maybe clean up the Karma too. But you'd probably leave the Draven to die and you get a 1 for nothing. If you had played that correctly, oh nice, you were playing this. Okay, never mind. If you had died there, though, it would have been mostly your fault. Nothing's worse than backing with not enough gold for your rocket belt upgrade. There's no point of walking bot. I don't know why you're walking bot. I mean, this wave is pretty messed up, but there's actually no point of this play. You should be going towards your ADC. Going towards your ADC, and more importantly, there's Rift Trail that your jungler is doing too. Like, this is really no point of this at all. You're putting negative pressure on the map by doing this. Right, and then you just use your sweeper to sweep an area that really doesn't matter instead of using it here. And the only reason you used it in an area that doesn't matter is because you went bot instead of mid. Because you're in the mid lane, by the way, now it's less risky to use your stealth and look for roots and stuff, because if you miss, it's harder for them to punish you, because since you're mid, there's always teammates around, right? So now it's like less punishable than when you were bot lane in an island. There's a ward here, though, so... What's your team doing? Stop. Why are they trying to go towards that? There's a heck on here. But luckily you guys got it. I think the big mistake here, right? So the big mistake is you have vision up, probably. You do not. But either way, you shouldn't even be this. You should just be standing right here, guarding the choke, making it really hard for Hecarim to come in, right? If he tries to come in, you root him and ulti him. But you kind of sat back and gave him, once he gets to here, it's a lot harder because now he can go all like this, he can go like this, he can go anywhere. But when he's here, it's a much smaller area. You don't want to let him pass this choke if possible. Obviously, you have to be a bit safe, right? But you already see Karma's over there. You see their ADCs here, right? So you're only really worried about Draven and TF. Now, TF gold card and coming over this wall is a very big threat. But even if he came over with a gold card, you could just ulti. And then at the same time, this guy can't get through, and it just makes it hard. See how once he gets through that choke now, how much harder it is? It's like, okay, well now he has all this space. You can't let him through this choke. But luckily your jungler outsmites him and it all works out. I don't know what to say about missing so many roots. I miss a lot of roots too. I feel like it's just, you know, you guys have to get more confident, I guess. I don't know what to say about that. It's unlucky. It's just something that gets better over time. unfortunately. That was an okay route to miss because you didn't have vision. That other one here, though, was 100% should have hit, but I understand missing because I miss like crazy too. So I would assume you get Rocket Belt, ward. You should pick up 2 wards on every back. The only time you don't pick up 2 wards is if you... The only time you wouldn't pick up 2 wards is, say, you had slots for wards because you didn't have the stopwatch and you were trying to get Rocket Belt next back. You'd only pick up 1 ward to make it a higher chance that you can back for Rocket Belt next back. But, like, right here, is there a very high chance that next back you have enough to complete a full Zanya's? No, the odds of you backing with enough to finish a full Zanya's is very low, so picking up 2 control wards is fine, because at worst, if you don't have enough to upgrade this, it's still not a big deal. Having 2 control wards is just useful. So yeah, the only time you don't pick up 2 control wards is if you're really close to completing a big spike item. Then you don't pick up 2 to make the gap smaller, but you're not even close to a big spike item. Also, you should not let this guy pressure tower like this. You're giving up way too much damage. You're looking for a cheesy all-in kill, which you ended up missing, and you just gave up so much damage. Just clear the wave. Look how much HP your tower had at the start, right? Right here, instead of looking, you should either just look for it right away. You have your stealth up. You should just right here stealth. Try to root him through the wave. And if you hit him, go for it. And if you don't, you rooted the wave and just queue the casters and kill. Like, you should not let him just be hitting your tower for free like this. I get you're trying to bait a bit, but you're just losing your whole tower. A good play. Really good. Well played. You didn't use your Rocket Belt on the ult. You used it after. You maybe could have hit Draven with the ulti too if you'd Rocket Belted. But really good roam. You see them overextended bot. And you go for the play. Let's just take a quick look at it again. Yeah, passive ups. They don't see you casting ulti. Rocket Belt, see? I guess it kind of canceled you with his lead. I think you have time to Rocket Belt. You would hit Draven too. But it doesn't really make a difference in the grand scheme of things. Just minute stuff again. Diamond 2 game, just the smallest details we'll look at. It might have been because of his E canceling. You might not have had enough time. Honestly, I don't know. But it looked like you had a small window if you were spamming that you could have got it off. You could have upgraded this to Fiendish Codex and pick up a control ward. So looking at the objective, Dragon's up in 1:40, so you don't have to get vision for it yet. So you should be getting vision around Baron right now. You probably just want to get like a ward like just around Baron. Honestly, a ward... Baron's wards last 3 minutes, and Dragon spawns in 1:30, so you probably just want to actually get a ward on the pit to make sure that if you do Dragon, they don't try to trade a Baron. A ward on the pit, and then probably just like a ward right here. If you put it in the bush, they always walk in and sweep it. So just like here to get vision of this and hopefully they don't sweep it. A ward here, here, and like, you know, even just in the middle of lane right there. And then I would just reset after that. I'd place those 3 wards and just literally reset unless your team's looking for a fight so that you have all your wards up. And then when Dragon's getting spawning, you have vision control for that. But you definitely want to get a ward on Baron before, when you have 1:30 till Drag spawns, you want to get a ward up on Baron for sure. At the bare minimum. You don't necessarily need the ward here, to be honest. Because Baron's spawning in 1:30, you just want the ward on the Baron. Well, you place the ward here, it's not terrible, but you definitely want a ward on Baron. And then wards around the Dragon. But I like it, you got vision around the Baron, and you're going to get vision around the objective spawning. So it's good thought process, but again, what if TF just ulted into the pit? They're all going to Baron, right? And you don't have a ward on Baron, right? So the play that I was foreseeing happened. Because they're in a desperate scenario right now, right? They are really badly needing to force something, so don't put a control ward there. That was a waste, because, again, you're doing Dragon in a sec, and you're not going to beat up Baron, and they're just going to clear it. You should have just put a regular ward on it. Plus, you want your control ward for vision control around the objective. It's okay, but this ward, again, isn't the greatest, because, again, your objective you're going for is in 30 seconds on bot side. You want vision here. On this bush, you want a ward like here, and then you go like set in for a pick here, and you see them funneling through here, and you come from behind them, right? Or something like that, I don't know. Any sort of play is better than that. Based on this, though, it looks like the game is going to be very snowbally to you guys, so I might just fast forward through a lot of this since we're already 40 minutes in, Jesus. I've been giving you channel points worth of VOD review. Again, guys, that's Let's watch this. I think there. I understand you're getting pressured from the Hecarim here, but you have whoopsies. You have a ward up, right? No, you do not. But at this point here, I feel like you running all the way around here is a mistake. I feel like you should just come back this way and you just come for a big ulti flash on these people from behind, right? By the time you get all the way over here, you risk them just like running over your team. Right? Like instead of you walking all the way like this, imagine if you were just right here coming around the corner again and you just hit a big one. Unlucky though. Yeah, you should have just come through around this way probably, but I get you're scared of the Hecarim, but the Hecarim only has one play to win, and that's to help your team fight. If he funnels you and kills you, your team just wins that fight anyways. And you guys are going to go do Baron, good. So yeah, again, guys, this is Diamond 2 VOD review. This is one of my viewers who paid for it through channel point rewards. You get that by watching me on my stream. You collect channel points, and if you collect enough, you get a free VOD review. So that's how this one's paid for, but you can also, if you can afford it, please, if you can't afford it, do not do it, but if you can afford it and want to support me and want a VOD review, $20, I do VOD reviews, and any role, any champ, the champ doesn't usually really matter because a lot of it is usually like macro tips anyways, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these VOD reviews either way. I hope they're informative and helpful. And you know, I don't usually talk to my chat, my YouTube chat, because usually it's not pre-recorded videos like this, but if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, say a message to me in the bottom of the chat. I actually respond to every single message ever posted on any video. I respond to every message. One day my channel might get too big where I can't do that, but for now, I enjoy talking to people every day. It's nice, so yeah. So you guys got Baron. You guys want to be pushing down these 2 outer turrets up top. Usually the idea is you want to push out all the outers before you start pushing inhib towers, unless their team fights for this outer and you can kill them and take the inhib for free. But if you don't get any picks, push the outer turrets. So the bad macro that your team's doing, I know this isn't your fault, but your Gnar with Baron should be going bot and pressuring this low HP inhib tower, right? And then you should have probably your Ori pushing top this wave in and rotating between, and you guys should be pushing mid. And then you guys should be rotating top after, right? With Gnar always able to TP into any of these plays. So Gnar being on this wave is really bad, and Ori being in the long extended lane without TP is bad. So not good macro by your team, but it's fine. Also, your that's not good. Alrighty, we just take an inhib here. Why does it say you guys only get 1 inhib? You guys don't walk down here and take 2? Okay, you take 2? No, you don't. Why'd you separate from the team there? Wait, is this a visual bug? It must be. Yeah, you just, if you went towards your team instead of chasing the TF around, you guys get 2 inhibs there. Instead of just 1. Right? You even just auto-attacking this twice, you guys get that inhib. And 2 inhibs down, it makes it a lot harder for you guys to lose. I'm just fast forwarding, I feel like we've done enough macro this game. Micro, I mean, just look at the macro at this point. Could have got 2 inhibs, and if you got both inhibs, then you all just go top and you just basically win the game off that. Only 1 inhib down means that you don't necessarily just free win, right? Because looking from the enemy's perspective, only 1 inhib down, right? You send TF with ulti, for instance, right? With TP and ulti, you can send TF to hold this side wave, right? And then you have, or even Fiora, but she doesn't have TP right now, so she would probably want to group. You send someone down, hold this. You have someone just farming this wave, pushing them, and then the rest of them can hold top, right? So you have probably Fiora holding mid, right? Getting all this funnel into her. She's a good champ to funnel. You have TF holding bot, and then they send 3 top. And if you guys try to push top right now, right, then they just have TF ulti and Fiora rotates, right? But if you have both this inhib gom and this inhib, it's a lot easier. Because right now, TF doesn't have to hold this wave, right? He shoves out the wave, and then he leaves and comes back to his team, right? And then, like, you know, so simple things like that, greeting for a TF instead of taking an inhib, could throw a game. It doesn't this game, but it could. Nice rocket belt to get me speed to hit your root. You have your flash up, so you basically just need to hit a big flash ult to win the game, honestly. Your team should just push the open inhib on the bottom. Probably. Or send Gnar. Gnar should just be pushing. So this is what I'm saying. Gnar should be pushing this, but then TF holds Gnar, hopefully. I don't know if he can hold Gnar. Probably not. But like Fiora can be holding here and helping, and they can be both holding this, and then they can both rotate to F fight here. It just makes it a lot harder. Then if this wave was already gone, then Gnar doesn't have to be here. Gnar can just be top instead of having to be bot, and then your whole team is here. It makes it a lot harder for them to hold. Right, Gnar is forced to be around bot right now, right? Because the inhib's not down. But if this inhib was down, he wouldn't have to be bot at all right now. Instead of him being here, he'd be top. And then potentially right now, TF, right now, can just like... Oh, he doesn't have a stopwatch. He's trolling. Instead of this Phoenix Codex, he should have... If he had a stopwatch instead of Codex here or this, you could just right now ulti top behind and like gold card your ADC and Zanya's or something like that, right? It's good that you hit it, but I think you just were too late. Like... I need to rewatch it because I was looking more at macro, because I said we're going to look more at macro, but you're just being too passive, I think. Our team is so ahead right now. Like, look at the kills. You just need to, like, you know, flash ulti. Like, even right here, I would just be flash ulti in the Karma, honestly. Like, YOLO. What do you have to lose? Look how far ahead the team is. Like, go, flash ulti. Go, go. Right? So you're just waiting too long. Like, you're letting Draven walk in and auto-attack your team. The whole team's dead before you go. You're so ahead. There's no reason to let your team just die. Pull the trigger. Rip. That's what happens when you go read that Fiora. Oh, this game should be over. They're down 2 inhibs with Baron spawning. They don't get Baron here. Yeah, GG. Well, I hope it helps. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, $20 VOD please if you want to watch my stream and build up channel points. I appreciate the support. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye bye.